Warning. At the end of this episode, when I ask my guest Ramni to share a tip, she's actually sharing an exercise that requires you to close your eyes for a few moments. Do not engage in this exercise when you are driving a vehicle or operating a machine. I repeat, do not do this exercise when you are driving a vehicle or operating a machine. Only do this exercise in a safe environment when you are not moving, preferably sitting down. Thank you and stay safe. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a new episode of Follow Your Passion. Let me introduce my special guest of today. Her name is Ramni. Ramni is a very special person. She had always known there was much more to life. She knew she had a greater purpose, but didn't know what it was and how to achieve it. In her adult life, she was working hard as an SAP consultant, raised the children, and went on courses, read books, talked to people, all to find a true purpose. Until she realized she already had everything inside of her. She got connected with Believe Energy, went through the whole journey herself, and now with a company, Believe Energy Journey, she's helping others who feel unfulfilled or want to reach the full potential, to release what's holding them back, and connect to the true purpose so that they can achieve their ultimate dreams and desires in life. Welcome, Ramni. How are you doing?
Yeah, thank you so much, Erwin. I'm doing good, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
So take us back like just over 9 years ago. When did you realize you could connect with this beautiful Believe energy?
Well, I think as I was growing up, I had like a connection, a special connection, and I knew, I knew there was more, and I knew that I could be more, but I didn't know what the path was yet, or what choices I needed to make, or which direction I needed to go in, or anything. And so I was just doing life, as you just do life. So I just did life, working. I had 4 children, and that's been full time, full on. And but as I was working and doing everything on life, there was another part of me. So I like to see it as like I wear many different hats. So there was another part of me. I had another hat on always that was more in the knowing, more connected, and growing, constantly growing inside of myself, but quietly and silently, just doing what I did.
Yeah.
And I was good, very good like that. I was very busy with the family and work but the constant growing was inside of me. And I think that I grew and made choices along my path, which helped me grow. And I started to see all the opportunities come to me along my path. So before I did, I searched. I knew there were some things, but I searched for many different things. And the search is not a bad thing, because I think the search takes you from one opportunity to the next opportunity to the next opportunity, and it becomes part of the path, that you're on. But it wasn't until more like I have this inner guidance, this inner knowing that I needed to do something, that I got connected to Believe Energy. And Believe Energy is an energy. It's an energy that's here on the planet, and it has 3 main functions. And I didn't know what the functions were. I just knew there was an energy, and I anchored it here, and I didn't know what to do with it, but I knew it was special. That's all I knew. So back then I was thinking, okay, it's normal day's work in my other world with my other hat on, it's a standard stuff. We're okay, we're doing all right. But the energy called to me, it has a pull to it. And I didn't realize the power that it had and what it was all about. I had no idea actually what it was all about. And over the last 9 years, well, actually, to begin with, I had no idea what it was about, but I knew it was special, so I wanted to do something with it. I didn't want to waste it. And so I was with children then all the time, with my 4 kids. And I was also a guide leader. So I was in the Brownies, and I was the guide leader. And so I decided to create a badge and for my unit. And all their badges were very old fashioned, like, learning to cook something, learning to sew something, a bit, your standard guiding scouting badges, camping and everything. So I created a badge which was I am important. So I created the I Am Important badge, and I got it made, and it had the guiding leaders were happy for me to run it. And I run it throughout guiding to say that I was bringing up, looking at children's emotional well-being and mental well-being, and using the energy and the tools of the energy to help them feel better. And it worked. You know, it was lovely. You know, we had the orange and the blue. I had a t-shirt. We had all the kids coloring in orange and blue, and they were learning how to protect themselves. They're learning how to put things into a bin, and they can release it. And, you know, using their own energy, their own imagination, their own want to get better, you know, want to feel better. We added in lots of things about bullying at school, and we're bringing up their self-value all the time with I am important, you are important, do you know how important you are? You know, and it was not about about being like self-important. It was about understanding that you have an important place in this world, so don't devalue yourself. So that then led to me creating a private workshop where I used to invite children to, and that then led me to taking it into schools, and I used to teach it in schools and then universities as well. And I taught internationally as well, in India and the Netherlands and around the UK. And so I've taught all these things internationally as well, yeah, to help the children feel better, because they are important. So everything was going good. But then life took some changes, and I had to leave that, and we moved away, and then we came back. And then when I came back, life really, really took a 360. And it was during COVID. And during COVID, I had a lot of time, and I wasn't in a good place myself, because life took a big swing. And but I knew I was still on path. I knew I was still on path. I knew I had Believe Energy. I knew it was something special, but I didn't still yet know the power, purpose, and intelligence of it.
Yeah.
And during COVID, I basically sat down, I listened to some tracks on repeat, and the music just fed me, and I wrote. And I wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote. And I wrote the manual, the Believe Energy manual. And I also wrote another book, the workbook, to go with it. And so during COVID, the first lockdown, I was mainly in my room. It was summer, or I was outside just typing away and creating those two books. And then from realizing, as I was writing, and I'm not joking, and I'm typing like this, and I'm going, oh, no, really? Wow. And I was like, really? Is that how it works? Is that what the energy does? Is that what's happening? You know what I mean? And I had no idea, but it was like, it was time for the knowledge to be here, the knowing.
Yeah.
So I talk about the energy, and I talk about the knowing that comes with it. And so, you know, and so in that I have the knowing that came with the energy, and I finally had like the complete package, in a sense. I had everything that I needed now to take it, you know, to share it, because it's a gift. Believe Energy is a gift, without a doubt. The energy is a gift, and the knowing is a gift, and it is here to help humanity evolve. And why me? Just is. And I've come to accept that. You know, I've come to accept that it is me, and I'm good with it. You know, it took me a long time. Don't underestimate how long it took me to actually to have the courage to bring it out.
Yeah, I totally understand that.
Yeah, and have to be like, move away from the normal mum life, which I was so nicely hidden away in you know, in the shires where we live, you know, and to come out and bring it to the world, you know, it took absolute courage. But I had the knowing, I had the thing, and it just then evolved into creating it into the online workshop, and creating the weekly energy sessions. And because I knew the energy, I knew the knowing, I have absolutely no doubt, and I have complete faith that I know exactly what I'm doing, and I know what's happening, and I can teach it and share it. And so I put it all together and started making the course. And I was given the information up until unit 4, and 5, I had to write based on my experience. And 6, I then had to experience and write. And 7, I had to completely experience and write. And now I'm experiencing all of masters, which I'm in the process of writing. So the whole journey is what I also did myself. It wasn't just the knowing came down and how it all worked energetically. I was told and communicated, but I'd lived the journey. I'd lived every step of the journey. So everything
definitely
I've lived. So that makes me, I think, accessible to people, and also I understand what they're going through.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it, indeed. And some people are still, I'm not saying afraid or scared, but it's the, let's say, the unknowing of what energy actually is that keeps them away from it. And that's actually a pity, you know, because if you would look at a quantum level, you know, everything is energy. They're just neurons moving, you know, it's so if you would focus a bit on that part, you know, everything is energy and everything is connected by it, right? And that's it's beautiful if you're able to tune into that, right, and do something with it in a practical sense. Sometimes I get questions as well, you know, how do you know something works? Well, currently we are all accepting that we can dial and make calls with a smartphone, right? That we have Wi-Fi on a laptop and that it's working, and we're actually annoyed when it doesn't work, right? So there are signals going through the air, right? That with Wi-Fi or laptop can tune into that, right? With our mobile phones, our mobile phone can tune into those signals in the air. So why would you ignore that there are other streams going through the air that certain people can tune into, right? And
absolutely, Owen, I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, that's exactly it. But I think that what people don't realize is, and what holds them back, is the fact that they are themselves energy. So, you know, we are taught at school we're atoms, and that's, you know, and then now it's gone down to further, and it, you know, it's more detailed now, and the science is telling, but we are energy. And there are the five, and because we see ourselves as solid, we forget we're energy. But if you were to look at everything from an energetic level, you see everybody as an energy stream. And in that energy, you know, there's 5 parts, there's 5 key parts to make up a person. And the problem, so we got the body, the mind, the heart, the soul, and the spirit. And these 5 parts make up the human being in the entirety. And energy doesn't die. So even but what's happened is that everybody's living in their, you know, looking at the receptors of the body lives in this material world, and they use their minds. And this is where they generally spending most of their time, in their mind and body. But then some now are definitely grown into their hearts, definitely, and they're realizing that there's more than just sitting up here. They can open up both parts of themselves, you know, to connect. And then, but the thing is that the soul is the operating factor between ever growing into your spirit, and which is your energy stream, and it's your knowing here that sits here, which can dictate, because everything has the power, purpose, and intelligence. It can dictate if you're moving from your head into your spirit or not. A lot of people, because of what is out there at the moment, have made the journey somewhat via the soul into the spirit, and they are more intuitive, they're more connected. They don't know what's happening. And I think that's what Believe Energy offers, the understanding to actually what is happening. But they don't know what is happening, but they understand that they are now more connected, and they have some gifts. Because as you open up and start living and moving into your energy stream, your spirit, you start to realize there's more to you, and there's more gifts. But there are so many, as we know, there's so many different levels to you that you can connect to within your energy stream as well. So the thing is, I mean, that people have grown because the new spiritual age or whatever, and the self-help books have helped. The self-help books have definitely helped humanity move from the head into the heart. And that has been a great thing. And if you look at it, if you look at the bigger picture on humanity, and then you've got the spiritual growth and spirituality and the awakening. People call it, you know, people awakening. So that means people have actually realized when going into their heart, they're more than their head, and they're allowing awakening to happen and move into their spirit a little bit, a teeny bit. Their soul's allowing them to move in a teeny bit, and they think that's it. But the thing is, that is not it. That is just the initial strand of light coming in. We are meant to be opening up our energy streams to absolutely mammoth, like, you know, greater than the earth, greater than the, we are just absolutely mammoth in our size. And we are more than this human body. The spirit is calling. The spirit is calling in people. Yeah. So people know now in humanity, they need more. And what they've got isn't enough. And they're surpassing what they got. They're looking and they're searching for more. And this is why Believe Energy is here.
Yeah.
Believe Energy is going to help release everything from their souls, from their spirits, from their mind, from their body, from their heart that they don't need. So all of the energy which is blocking up these 5 strands of energy is going to be removed, which will allow us to make the journey from our body, mind into our spirit, but allow this to absolutely grow into our energy streams, just to grow, to become who we're meant to be. Because now in humanity is the time we're supposed to be that person. We're supposed to reach those ultimate dreams and desires. We're supposed to be making impactful difference. Yeah. And people are desperate, Owen, desperate for the next thing. And this is what Believe Energy will give you at speed and structure, in the sense that, like, you're on the course yourself, right? You're on the journey, the Believe Energy journey yourself. I mean, it's structured, it's easy, actually. There's nothing difficult about Believe Energy. And people sometimes like the intellectual challenge and would rather have the intellectual challenge of reading, you know, like quantum physics books, which I don't really ever want to do. And then think Believe Energy is too easy. It can't be what it is, but it is.
Yeah.
Because it has the power and the purpose and the intelligence to do what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
So I think that people are longing. I know it. I can feel it. People are longing, people are searching, and Believe Energy is, since 2013, has traveled the world. It is around, it is accessible, it is, and people will start to feel and connect. It's just, when they see it, they might not realize the first time, second time or third time, but the fourth time they'll pretty much get what they need to do, if that's their path.
Yeah.
And they make that choice.
Yeah. And I think one important thing that you mentioned, you know, people are searching, but they should actually search within themselves and start listening to the inner voices and their intuition and stuff like that, and not search outside themselves, right? Unless they want to search and come to the Believe Energy website, then they've searched outside, so you can tell them they have to start searching inside, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing is, we always must remember that everybody, if one sits in mind, is going to be searching from the material world perspective, from the outside perspective.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right, Owen. That even just to listen to your gut feel is a start to listen to your inside. Yeah. Even if you follow your gut feel initially, you are going to start making some impactful difference, because you're going to bring yourself onto path. Yeah. Onto your path, not my path, not that, but your own path, the person's path. So even just that is going inside. If you can open up your heart and open up your mind and actually go within yourself and ask yourself a question and receive an answer that you know is true and pure. And the guidance is always true and pure. It's never something that's detrimental. If it's detrimental, then you're not listening to the right stuff. Yeah. But if it's true and pure and you go inside yourself and it's a clear yes or a clear no, then follow that. You know, follow that. But I think people I know are searching and seeking. They will be given the opportunities, and they have to but choose to take the opportunity. But in making that choice, if they go within, and not just from their mind and their preconceived thoughts, which they believe sit in their mind, but don't actually sit in their soul, but in their preconceived thoughts and ideas, then, and let, what did you say once? You told me, try it. You have nothing to lose. You know what I mean? And that's it. That's exactly it, you know, and try to do something new, something different, because something different, in life can be the most amazing thing you've ever done.
Oh, definitely. You know, and I shared with you as well that for me, hypnotherapy was like far away, you know, that wasn't for me, because I wouldn't be in control. That was my perception of hypnosis, right? If somebody would hypnotize me, I would be like a puppet in the hands of the hypnotist. So I didn't want to have anything to do with that, right? Until you opened your mind, you got intrigued by it, you start doing it, and now it's one of my biggest strengths.
Yeah.
And that's with a lot of things, things that you might be afraid of or fear might be your biggest strength. And while you were talking, my brain actually works very fast and making connections, stuff like that. And I immediately got this image of to see how energy streams might work. If you take twins, for instance, if there are any twins listening, then they can feel each other, right? They make decisions like what clothes to wear without discussing, and they're choosing the same clothes, right? If somebody's hurt, the other person will feel that, even though they're not physically nearby. So there are connections between those twins that you can't explain, right? Yet, because it happens so often, it's just accepted by the world, right? Yeah, they're twins, that's because they're twins. But nobody's thinking just that little step further. How come that those are so connected with each other, right? And it's probably energy. Well, you can say it better than I can, but and it's the same, for instance, if I look at my wife, we met each other, not lying, 31 years ago. And it just felt she's my soulmate, right? We're just connected. And it happens a lot of times we're saying the right thing, the same things at the same moment, or we're finishing each other's sentences, right? If there isn't any connection, spiritual or energy-wise or whatever, you can't do those things.
No, because what's happening is that your vice energies are connected. So when you come into long relationships, like with the twins and yourself, your vice energies connect, and they connect, which is your external energy. They connect and they stay in a connected relationship. That's why some relationships, even though they might break physically, don't break energetically. There's still a connection. And there could be a connection because of the strong emotion that you hold for each other, like the twins do, or in a long, loving relationship. Or it could be an obligation connection between the two, that there's still things yet the other one has to teach the other one.
Yeah.
And but it is the energetic connection of the vice energy. That's what it is. I mean, it's not your energy streams are that's a whole new conversation. That's another level about the energy stream connections and everything. But your vice energy are connected, and they are connected for a reason, and then when you go through sometimes breakups and you can't make the disconnect, we can disconnect the vice energies. That will help your energy stream then follow that back on your path and help them follow on their path, and not stay this sort of relationship that happens sometimes because it's, in that pain, they're not moving forward. But there's loads of things with energy. Exactly. You're absolutely right. And I love the way you give an everyday analogy to understanding energy, because it is everything and it is everywhere. It's all matter, all purpose. But the thing is that people forget that energy has a power, a purpose, and an intelligence. So do you.
Yeah.
You have your own power, your own purpose. And the intelligence I'm talking about is not from books. It's a knowing. It's a connection.
Yeah.
That is the intelligence we're talking about. Yeah. It's not red. It's not in your mind red. It is an absolute deep knowing within you. Everybody has this, but you forget your energy, so you don't believe you have it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And it's, the podcast is called Follow Your Passion, or also your purpose, your true calling. Because if you're living in your full potential and you're doing what you're supposed to do, that's what you're good at. That's what you enjoy, because you just feel it inside of you. This is the path to follow. And it's this knowing that drives you, and you will find a way to achieve it, to make it happen. Right.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it all.
But when you're actually on path and on purpose, it's actually funny that you don't have to chase your life.
Yeah.
So many people chase, you know what I mean? Because they're still searching and seeking. And they feel that because they've achieved in the material world and they have their family, that they've done what they meant to do. But actually, no, there's so much growth within you that yet needs to happen. You know, we need to connect to all levels of yourself. You know, we need to connect you to your truth. We need you to be on your path and purpose, not by I think I am, but guided word by word, you know, two-way conversation with life on your path. You know it, absolute knowing, you know, that you're on it and you're following it. Now you imagine, when you're older and you're looking back and you're sitting, you know, sometimes I always imagine like you're sitting in those American movies and on the little swings on the outside of the, you know, white picket fence into all these fields, and you're sitting there and you're swinging and the sun is coming down and you're sitting there and thinking, what did I do with my life? Did I do what I was supposed to do in my life? And you can look back and say, well, I got the kids, I worked really hard, you know, and, you know, I studied, I did my education, you know, I did all those things that I was meant to do. But I don't want you to sit there and think something's missing. And it's because what's missing is it's not the mental understanding, it is the energetic growth and connecting to all levels of yourself you are still yet to do.
Yeah.
So a lot of time now people are concentrating on mental health, which is right, because we need mental health in order to heal. But there's more than mental health. There's emotional, physical, spiritual, there's energetic health.
Yeah.
If we grow into our energy and we connect to all levels, you won't worry about mental health. You won't worry about emotional. You won't worry about chasing your purpose and path. You'll be on it. There is just no doubt you'll be on it.
Yeah.
And you'll know it.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the beauty of Believe Energy. It's so simple, but you will be on your path and purpose. So when you're sitting on that bench, you will never, and you're connected to your counterpart self or your sphere self even, and you're sitting there and you're having a conversation with yourself, you know, everything is in it. You will know.
Yeah.
You'll know you did it.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Of course, I know what it is, but for the audience, you got a beautiful scarf around your neck. Could you explain the colors of blue and orange?
Yeah, sure. So Believe Energy, like I said, has three elements to it. And the three elements are to release. And the first thing is to release what is holding you back. And the orange is the color of release, the energy of release. And so this is the fire, and the fire is here, and the fire has been ignited, and it's here to do a job, and it is here to burn everything that is unwanted, but yet not consumed. So it is to release. The blue is to connect. So the second element of Believe Energy is connect, and it connects you to life. It connects you to your knowing. It connects you to your truth. It connects you to your path. It connects you to your purpose. It is about connecting you in order for you to reach your ultimate dreams and desires, for you to make impactful difference. It is connecting you. And the third part, which I don't have on my scarf, but I have on my earrings, which are gold, is gold. And that is the golden bridging energy. And that is there to regenerate you. And the golden bridging energy brings with it truth, and it brings with it peace, and it comes in a way to regenerate you, yet give you all the tools that you need to go on your journey. So once you connect to Believe Energy and you're on the journey, you will have all the tools you need. It's not about an ongoing thing. You have everything. Everything is given to you. The energy is given to you in the fifth week only, like of a 12-month program. And so you're learning to use the energy continuously. It's not about me as a person, because all the knowledge is given to you. You know, so and I'm just there to help you on your way, to hold your hand, to see you every week, to make sure you have any questions. Like Erwin has loads of questions, and he tests me all the time. So it's like, you know, so to answer your questions, to hold your hand, to give you the energy, to not let you go back. So how many things that you always say, you start one and you've taken the step forward and you've taken the second step forward, but then you fall over time, you've fallen back because you have never released the energy. You've never released it. The energy is weighted. It will pull you back. That's all that happens. That's what's happening. You start to release this energy with the orange energy, connect with the blue energy, and feel regenerated with the gold. There is no doubt that you won't be on your path and purpose when you're connected to your truth. There's no doubt. You know, that's what Believe Energy does.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it indeed. So could you share maybe a funny experience you had with Believe Energy on your path, or maybe a client had?
Ah, a funny experience. I mean, there's been so many different experiences, but there's been one guy, very special. And he came here actually to my house. It was the beginning when I just had Believe Energy, and I wasn't 100% on that power and purpose and intelligence that it had. And he's a big guy, like, yeah. And he said to me, right, he's got his arms folded like that, sitting there in the chair. And he goes, my wife sent me. I just want to tell you now, I'm a northern guy. I'm from up north. He said, I'm a meat and two veg sort of man. Like, yeah. I don't believe in all this energy stuff. Yeah. Because, but my wife sent me, so I'm here. And I was like, okay, great. So I go behind and I do the energy work for him, and I come down. He goes, I felt it everywhere. He goes, it's all around me. It's in my legs. It's in my arms, in my feet. He goes, it's in my head. He goes, what did you do? What's happened? Then he loved it so much. He came back again and again. And he used to then write to me. He says, every time I pass the bridge on the A40, I remember to put on my coat of protection because I'm going to work and I don't want people to, absorb my energy or take my energy, and I'm protecting myself. And I just wanted to let you know that that's what I do. And I've written a little book for you about energy and how it all works and everything. So
wow.
So I think that, and he will always be a special place. He plays a special place in my heart, without a doubt, because he was so anti being here in this house, in this chair.
Yeah.
And it changed his world.
Nice.
Changed his world.
Great story. And I can totally relate to that, to seeing this person sitting there with the arms across, so you're going to tell me I have to do something, right? Yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. If he's telling me he's from up north, right, he's not going to change, and he's a meat and two veg guy, he's not going to change. He's telling me I'm only doing it because I've been forced to be.
Yeah, exactly. My wife sent me. Yeah, great. Yeah. And it's actually when you're on the path, and that's the beauty of it as well, that life starts talking to you as well. Things are happening and they just happen for a reason. And that's one of the parts that I love about it, that you start noticing those things. Right. I remember we had a weekly session and I couldn't attend because it was shifted like 30 minutes later. Right. And I already had an appointment at that time, and it got shifted the same day. My appointment canceled because she couldn't make it. So I still could make the session. So
right. Yeah, you did.
Little things like that, but there's so many things that it's a vicious circle you get into. You find more proof that it's working. So it builds your belief, and then you see another proof. You get, I'm not saying narrow-sighted, right? But it's this great positive vicious circle into it. You just want more of it. Yeah,
I know. It is like the life will keep on feeding you the minute you connect to life. So and this can even happen as quickly as your first release. Just your first release and connect session that can do your first layer off. Even that sometimes can be enough for people, but it is in just that one connection that they can start seeing life talk to them. Then you open up your internal energy and people get a bit of a shift, right? And then you got external, then life starts talking to you. This is all before Believe Energy you get to Believe Energy even, which is the 5th week, right? And so then in the 5th week, you get to Believe Energy, and then life just completely opens up and you're completely connected to it. And like synchronicity and there cannot be a coincidence. It cannot be, it has to be life communicating with you. And it is exactly. Yeah. And it will keep on doing that. But the more you grow, you'll start to, when you connect to your own truth, life will stop talking to you in such a way. It just plays that way. So the scenarios are just going to be run that way. Because you stay with your truth and you stay on your path, then you don't have to chase life. I tell you, all uncertainty goes out of life. Actually, all fear goes out of life. So what you may fear at the beginning on coming onto it, you are not going to feel at the end. It's all going to go because your uncertainty goes. So you grow inside yourself to a completely different level. You see life differently.
Yeah.
You know, you change your whole perspective on the life you're living.
Yeah, it's wonderful. You know, it's very inspiring as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
And it's you know, I call myself the eternal student. You know, I'm always eager to learn, to explore, to discover. And you're just it's the same with you. You know, you think you reach a certain level and then something new unfolds again, and you just, okay, we'll just continue. You know, it's wonderful, it's getting more, I want more of it, bring it on. And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, and absolutely. I mean, once you awaken, really, once you've taken that first step from that seed in the ground and you come up to the top, and then like you can connect to life properly, the growth that you can have is phenomenal. And with Believe Energy, it just comes quickly. Yeah. And not only does life come quickly to you connected to it, because we can release everything that you come through, every life lesson that you go on can keep on releasing. So guilt can go, you know, shame can go, doubt can go, all the fear can go. We keep on releasing, we keep on working on those gateway traits, our life lessons. And because you're seeing life from a different perspective, everything that happens to you is not immense pain and why did it happen and I can't cope. It is, you don't look at it like that at all. You look at it like, okay, this is a life lesson regarding this trait. Okay, right, I need to do this. I need to be, you know, this is going to be tested on this. You know, am I getting the guidance? No. Okay, we're in a test phase now. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. And you start to grow within yourself, and it becomes normal to keep on growing. But it also, it has such an excitement to it because you keep on changing. And it's could be weekly. I mean, like for me, over the last 3 months, it's been daily. You know, how many times have I, you know, come online and I'm like going, okay, guys, there's been a change.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
You know, and now we're doing this because this has changed, and it's been like a daily growth. And so to get you to where you need to be, because humanity needs it. We need to evolve humanity, not just for the individual, but for the people around the individual and humanity on the whole planet. Yeah. So there's a bigger purpose to you reaching and making impactful difference by releasing and connecting and growing into your entirety. Yeah. You are going to impact other people, you know, and so that's going to have an impact on them. It's that butterfly effect, and it's stone in the water effect, just keeps on going out. And it's for the best of humanity, because we all are important on the big picture. So if you're lost, you know, if you're hearing this and you have awakened and you think that you have reached, or you feel like you're near enlightenment, or you feel like you started your journey but now you're lost as to what to do, or you feel like I haven't started my journey but I know there's something more inside of me, I know I'm more but I don't know what it is, this is the missing key. You come and clear your energy and release it and connect to life. Even in the first 6 weeks, you will start making impactful difference.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, and that's so great. You know, since I started my own entrepreneurial journey 7 years ago, I've always said that every person is unique, is special, you know, is worthy, and is here on earth to make a positive impact, you know, for themselves, but also for the world. And it's actually what I pursue with my clients as well, and you do as well, to have people realize that, to become their full authentic self, so that they can make that impact that they're supposed to do. And that's yeah, it's a wonderful journey. That's why I love working with you as well, Ramni.
Oh, thank you. I love working with you too. It's been an absolute pleasure. You know, and it's good that you ask the questions. It's good that you you know, you look at the detail, you know, and that's good. I like it, because it will only ever help everybody else as well on the journey, you know. And but also, you know, you're ready to learn and grow, and you're going to reach your full potential. You know, just wait till you connect your truth and we have another podcast, then we talk again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but it's actually funny, because I tell it to my clients as well, whether I'm giving a training or coaching, you know, I always invite them to ask questions, You know, if I'm following a training myself, well, I don't have to tell you, but I'm mostly the one that's asking questions because I just want to understand it. You know, I'm there to grow, right? Even when I'm on a live training or a seminar, you can always find me somewhere on the first 2 rows. And I'll probably be the one asking questions because I'm there to learn, to grow, to develop myself. And if I don't understand something or just want to check something or get something confirmed, I'm asking a question. And I don't care what other people think of me because I'm not there for them, right? I'm there for me to grow and to understand, and so that I can actually use it. And that's also what I tell my clients and my students as well. You know, there are no stupid questions.
No.
The only stupid question that exists is the one you don't ask.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
There are enough stupid answers, but a stupid question doesn't exist in my vocabulary.
And I think you hit the nail on the head where you said you don't care what people think about you, you're there to grow. I mean, that is that if you are interested in Believe Energy, you shouldn't care what people think about you, because it's not, they will go on their own journey. This is your journey. You know what I mean? You have to follow your path on your journey.
Exactly.
Yeah? If it means something to you, you've gone inside yourself, it connects to you, it means something to you, then do it. Because it doesn't matter what anybody else says. When you start growing within yourself, you're beyond it.
Yeah.
You're beyond what anybody else says, you know, because
exactly.
they just don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
They just don't know what you know.
Yeah.
And so you realize how much more advanced you are. And I don't know how many people say to me now, well, I looked at life this way, but now I know more. I look at life this way. You know what I mean? And somebody spoke to me and my friend spoke to me, but they're just not getting it. They just don't see the life the way it is. And I'm like, yeah, because you've just grown within yourself. And some of the people around you, you know, are never going to grow, or they're not there yet in order to grow. And, you know, but you then start hanging around with people which are more on your level. But that is the energy shift, because it needs to shift. You need to shift in order to grow sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes there just has to be a shift, you know, in people around you, because you need to grow, you know. And I think that's a nice thing about Believe Energy, that everybody's on the journey. So they're all growing, you know, and we support each other, and there's a nice family feel to it. So and I think that it's not like you come on and it's a cold online course. There's nothing cold about it.
Oh, no, definitely not. No,
it's full of warmth and love and release and connect and community and, you know, belonging to something which is related to your path. It's not about, you know, dogma. It's not about religion. It's not about discrimination. It's not about judgment. It's not about anything that people might say, oh, it's like, you know, about me. It's not about me as a person. You know, it's only you, your path, and you using a tool of Believe Energy to help you.
Yeah, and actually thinking about it, you know, when you're attending those weekly sessions, I start recognizing where the others are as well for a little bit, because one of the things I noticed that a lot of people are still too much in their mind.
Yes.
Right. I didn't feel anything, or am I imagining it, or they have a hard time explaining it, you know. And it's, for me, it's just this unconditional belief in the process you're on, right? And I think that might be the biggest shift that people make on the journey, to get out of the mind. And it becomes, like you said, it becomes like a certain knowing, right? Yeah. Know you're on the right path. You still have a lot to grow and to develop, but there's no turning back for me.
I think you said it right. I think people, there's multiple reasons why people say, oh, I don't feel it, I don't get it, is because one, there's a lot of energy yet to move. So there's too much still unwanted energy. They still have to go through, you know, a few more weeks of releasing, connecting, get there and grow into it. Two, they want control, and they feel like if they're to leave their heads, they're not going to have control. But actually what happens in life is you have more control, because you're controlling your own energy, you're controlling your own emotions, you're controlling your own mental state, you're controlling your own physical state. You actually become, and your beliefs about yourself, everything's going to start changing, and you actually have more control over your life than in this life where you think you have control, but actually chaos is around you and within you.
Yeah.
And when you become on the journey, there's no, the chaos starts to go away, and because you're looking at life in a completely different way. And then you have also, there's the ego that I like my meat and 2 veg guy, you know, I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm here, but I think I know better. So they're going to sit on a level where they know they think they know better. And so they sit there for a while. And there's also a level of very low self-value and very low self-trust and faith. And they can't understand because they don't see themselves as worthy. And so there's many different reasons as to why somebody at the beginning doesn't do it. But if they can find within themselves, because they came on the journey, they found courage anyhow. So if they can find perseverance, you know, they will change. There is no doubt. It might be by unit 4. It might be unit 6. It might be by unit 7 and a month later, but they will change. Yeah. But it is in the give, when they give up and then they might leave the journey. That is the point where they've gone back into their minds.
Yeah, exactly.
They return back into their heads and they see they'd rather be in the chaos than in the understanding and knowing.
But they will return.
They will return, or that's the journey for this phase. You know, it's all, you know, it is what it is, and that is you know the beauty of it.
Exactly.
Do what they need to do, and it's not because the journey is not about me. It is not. It is about the person and their energy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's their choice, right? And I say every single week, I say a couple of things which I say every week. 1, you are important, and 2, you have choice.
Yeah.
But if you choose to do something, do it with intent.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I know we can talk for hours on this subject, and I would love to, but we have to think about our listeners as well. If you could share a little tip or little piece of wisdom with the audience, what would it be, Ramni?
I think if you listen to this podcast, I'd like you to close your eyes. And if we just do it now, close your eyes, Erwin, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths. And as you breathe in, I want you to imagine the color orange. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine the color blue. So if you breathe in orange, out blue, in orange, out blue, in orange, out blue. Now I just like you for a moment only to leave your mind and just slide down and go into your heart. And when you're there, ask yourself, is believe energy the right thing for me? And now I'd like you to take 3 normal deep breaths. Take a deep breath in and out. In and out. In, open your eyes, and out. That's it. That's the only piece of advice I have for anybody.
Wonderful. And I already knew the answer, so. Great. So if people want to know more about you or believe energy or want to get in touch with you, how can you do that?
Yeah, believeenergy.com. It's one word. And come and experience the energetic release. It's very, very reasonably priced. It's only the first 6 weeks, but you get the gift of Believe Energy. And you get enough knowing in order to do your own release and connects and protect yourself and ground yourself. And you get a taste and feel the energy and part of the family and to be part of something. and then make your decision going forward, because we are a social enterprise. So we're here to help make Believe Energy accessible to everybody, and because we're here to help humanity evolve. And if you feel it's right for you, then yeah, just go and write those words in your phone or your PC and have a look.
Perfect. Well, thanks a lot, Ramni. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, experience, and all the tips and wisdom you shared with the audience. We definitely stay connected, and love to invite you for another time.
I can't wait. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much, Owen.